Do have some guests logging in, guys.
Good.
Good. I believe we're live, Judy.
Okay, thank you. Thank you for joining us at Henry County Chamber of Commerce Community Dialogue. It's hosted by our DEI committee. I'm Judy McMurtry. I'm the chair for the DEI committee. I'm also the CEO of JM Excel Consultant. And I have a special guest with us today, which is Barbara Coleman from Connecting Henry, which is I'm speaking in existence for you, Barbara, a nonprofit organization, and it's a local branch of the Georgia Family Connecting Partnership, Inc. in Henry County and the City of McDonough. The Henry County Collaborative comprises nonprofits, governments, public agencies, faith-based, civic organizations, and citizens who share ideals and expertise and resources to strengthen our families and children in Henry County, Georgia. I also like to thank our sponsor, Kaiser Permanente. And thank you, Barbara, for joining us today, as well as our webinar participants and our live Facebook participants. So with that said, Barbara, you have anything you would like to add to my introduction of your organization?
I think you did a great job. I do want to clarify that yes, we are the Georgia Family Connection Partner for Henry County, and we serve as the Health and Human Services Department for the City of McDonough.
Okay, thank you for that clarification. I appreciate it. So then I just have a few items we want to just discuss with you just to find out how it's just such a beautiful organization. So we definitely want to hear a lot more. So can you summarize the benefits of Connecting Henry and the need to pivot for further growth or to adapt the changing environment? So can you kind of give us a little summary?
Absolutely. The need for Connecting Henry now is greater than ever in the history of the organization. Post-pandemic, we are seeing a lot of families that are just struggling with the high cost of food, the high cost of gas, the high cost of rent and everyday living, taxes going up. People are being impacted. Everyday people are being impacted. And the fact that families that were struggling before the pandemic are certainly struggling even more now. So our organization comes in play by providing resources, by helping the families just to stay afloat. And it is something that we've done since, Connecting Henry has been around since 1996. We're coming up on 28 years, 29 years of this organization being around, and we're here to help families in Henry County.
Okay, what type of resources do you provide your organization?
You name it, and we can probably provide it because we do a lot of partnerships. One
Okay.
of the things that we are doing is our benevolence program. It's called the Inspire Homeless and Homelessness Prevention Program. Now, this program assists families that are facing a sudden unforeseen event. That unforeseen event could be that a family member died, a loss of a job, a spouse walked out, a divorce. It could be they had a car accident. Something happened to cause them to be in a financial crisis that they need assistance paying either rent, mortgage, or their utilities. And the major utilities that we serve: gas, water, and electricity. And so we provide assistance based on our funding. Everything that we do is based on funding, because we're a nonprofit, it's grants and donations. As we tell our clients, when we have money, we can help. When it's gone, it's gone. And so we provide those resources. In the past, we've provided an opportunity for families that may need a bed mattress. We had a partnership, we still have a partnership with a local company, and they gave a donation $2.5 million worth of mattresses that we were able to get into the hands of families that are in need in the community. And we actually partner with other nonprofits and gave those other nonprofits the mattresses to give to their population of people. We are working now with an event to get shoes in the hands of families that may need them. They do need to qualify as being a homeless family, and we're working to get those shoes into the hands. We do clothing, we do toiletries, any type of resource that a family may need, we can try to assist in getting it into their hands.
So do you also do any type of educational, like maybe GED or anything to help a parent who may be struggling, trying to have a job, resume writing or any of that type of assistance as well?
In the past, we did. For several
Okay.
years, we operated the SWAG program, what is known as Students Working to Achieve Greatness. I was the program director for that program for a number of years. And then in 2020, the pandemic came, and shortly after, we stopped the program through no fault of our own. The funding just decreased drastically because of the county's fair share, and we could just no longer operate the program the way that we did. So it was a very successful GED program. We work with 16 to 24-year-olds. So now we just basically make referrals to Southern Crescent Technical College. And there's another organization called Project Outsource Connects that we will refer those students to. And we somewhat have an adult component of that GED program. We do make the referrals to the other organizations, but a part of that program was the workforce development. We didn't teach them just to get the GED, but they needed to survive. So we had training opportunities for those students to come through and not only get a job, which a job is just over broke. We wanted to help them with a career opportunity. So we did short-term training credentialings, so that those students can do that. So we've not stopped it, but the economy right now is kind of still in flux from the pandemic. So we're looking for more opportunities to do those types of training going forward with the adult population.
Okay, so but in the meantime, you are partnering with other educational institutions to help make that happen.
Absolutely.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, so can you share a little bit about the community care toys and why you decided to discontinue 2024?
It's bittersweet. It really is bittersweet. The Community Cares Toy Shop, for those that may not know, was an opportunity. We partnered with the school system. They know the families that are in need. So they would give us the names of the children and the names of the families, and we would make an appointment with the parents. And the parents would come to the Community Cares Toy Shop and actually shop. And it's called Community Cares because we didn't do this on our own. It was a community effort. We've done it for 18 years. Last year was year number 18. And we will partner with the churches, and businesses would just donate either monetary donation or it was a new unwrapped toy. And we would always say, whatever you would give your child, your grandchild. We didn't ask for gaming stations or, anything of that high value, but we gave the parents an opportunity to come and shop, and they came out and were able to get the items. But we all know that Henry County has grown. It is it is impossible now to find a location to do the event. We would typically start in July, with Christmas in July, start collecting the toys. But you need a place to hold the toys, and you need a place to do the event. And we would have it set up to where, it was a festive place. But it is increasingly difficult to find a location that's large enough, and find a location that would be willing to give it to us at no cost and hold the space for 2 or 3 months. Those places do not exist because Henry is booming, which is a good thing, but it has made it impossible for us to do it. And not only that, the volunteers decreased over time, and it was difficult for us to do it. We were working a lot, and we just made the decision last year would be the last year, because it ended on a good note, and we're happy about that.
Okay, and yes, I totally understand that it's about adjusting to the environment, so to speak. But you are still doing some wonderful things. And with that said, what is your vision for 2025 for connecting Henry and also over the next 3 years? What's your vision as you see it evolving and you're pivoting?
The biggest vision that we want, coming forward in the immediate future, is to get more exposure for our low birth weight healthy woman initiative. You may not know that Henry County has been identified as one of the counties in Georgia where women are having low birth weight babies. Low birth weight means that the babies are born at 5.5 pounds and under. And if you can imagine a preemie can potentially have lifelong implications. And so we want to bring awareness to that. Our numbers in Henry actually exceed the state and the regional average. The regional averages are the counties surrounding us. And so we need to make people aware that that is an issue right here in Henry County. We also want to make them aware that women, first of all, we know that women are the caretakers typically of the family, and we're busy. We're going here, we're doing this, we're doing that. We are ignoring warning signs. We are not taking care of ourselves. We're so busy helping others. I use myself as an example. I had a headache, and I had this headache for months, months and months and months. And we were busy, busy, busy. And I thought, okay, I'm just tired. I'm busy. I need a vacation. But it turns out I'm stumbling over my feet at work and didn't understand what was going on. So my coworker took me down the street to the fire department and checked my blood pressure. It was 158/112. Turns out I had high blood pressure, and I did not know it. And so as we women continue to push, and there's a lot of women in the workforce today, we continue to push, push, push. We need to stop and take a breather and not feel guilty. And I always feel guilty when I take time off. I always feel guilty when I say I'm going to work from home today, but we need to, because we are dying of these preventable diseases. So we want to bring more awareness to the women's health issue, the low birth weight issue. We would like what's called an impact center, because the clients that we serve, sometimes they come back to us again and again, for assistance, because they need the assistance. So we're doing more programs coming up in the near future. Next year in January, there is one. It's kind of like a Money Matters program. Charles Moon with Truist Bank will be working with us to conduct this class. It's going to teach our families about budgeting, because it's not always the fact that you don't have enough money, but what are you doing with the money that you do have? What are your spending habits? How are you spending that money? Instead of taking care of the necessities, we have a lot of needs that we want to fulfill first. This Money Matters class is also going to talk about budgeting through a financial crisis, because there will be a crisis for all of us at some point or another. and
Right.
then even leading up to teaching folks how to become homeowners. So we're doing a whole lot more of that. And with this impact center, we want to bring all of these services, have a place for the homeless to receive their mail, have staff on hand that can help the homeless or anyone in the community for that matter that may need assistance. That's our client, I will say. They may
Mhm.
need assistance applying for those mainstream benefits, food stamps, WIC, TANF. We will have a person on staff. That is our goal, to help them to do that. And we want to just get out there and do more and more in the community with our low birth weight event. Continue to promote healthy eating, healthy living. We just completed um, an actual health fair. It was not last weekend, but the weekend before that, which was a huge success. And we have other events coming up in the near future.
Okay, that's a perfect segue into my next question. I noticed that you have a few upcoming events. Can you elaborate on those?
Yes, the next event that we're having is called the Community Resource Fair slash second annual Ultimate Baby Shower.
Mhm.
Again, this is for the Low Birth Weight Initiative, Healthy Women Initiative. Think about having a baby shower for your sister, for your daughter, similar. But we're having the community, the resources, the other resources in the community are coming out. Clayton County Community Services Authority will be there. Piedmont Hospital will be there. We have a chiropractor that's going to be there. Um, I found out that babies can actually have chiropractic service, a service on them. They can have whatever the chiropractor would do for an adult, they do the same thing for a baby because it's very traumatic giving birth. The baby goes through a lot. So we
Mhm.
have a lot of organizations that are going to be there to provide resources to new moms and expectant moms. And we will have giveaways of diapers and wipes and all things baby, as well as educational resources that will be at this event for the moms that are attending. The next event that we have coming up, actually on October the 15th, it is a training for drug abuse. You do need to register for this event, but this event is very critical because we know that it's happening in our community. We're tackling those issues that are happening right here in our community in Henry County. And so this drug abuse prevention training, it is for community professionals, whether you work for DFACS, whether you are a daycare center owner, it's for anyone that's dealing with the community, dealing with the public, and you want to know more and learn more. In January, we have another training that's coming up. It's a suicide prevention training and intervention training to teach you the warning signs of someone that may be suicidal. Henry County, our numbers in Henry are 32% higher than the state average for suicide. And if you talk to anyone in the school system, they will tell you, excuse me, that when a child in the school system commits suicide, it becomes that thing that they're anticipating a second and possibly a third. For whatever reason, that's how suicide seems to trend in the schools. And so that too, space limited, but we want to be able to provide these types of trainings to the community to make us more well informed, so that we can deal with everyday life and just deal with what's happening.
Okay, now with that said, you listed a number of events, and how can the community support? How can we come together and whether providing volunteer services, sponsorship, or donations? What is
Absolutely.
the method that can be used to provide that to you, your
Yes.
organization?
Thank you. Anyone that is interested in volunteering or being a sponsor, or doing anything with Connecting Henry, simply give us a call in the office. For one thing that I did not mention, we host what's called a collaborative meeting.
Yes.
And you mentioned it early on. It's the meeting of the minds. It is where we bring together the faith-based, other nonprofits, the government, the normal everyday businesses, and everyday people. And those topics that I just mentioned That's when we discuss these things, not for the sake of just talking about it, but to bring about solutions. And solutions is this type of training, making people aware of what we're doing. We always need sponsors for the community collaborative meeting. That sponsor will typically sponsor our breakfast. And
Mhm.
breakfast is a loose term. It typically we will have some sort of pastry or donut or coffee or fruit, chicken minis from Chick-fil-A or something along those lines, along with coffee, water. So we're looking for sponsorships that can do that. The person that sponsors will get roughly 10 minutes at the beginning of the meeting to tell about their organization, what they do, and get the spotlight on them. And we hold the meetings on the third Tuesday of every other month. So we just had a meeting this Tuesday of last week. Our next meeting would typically be in November, but because of the holidays, we skip. So our next meeting will be the third Tuesday in January.
Mhm.
Another way that they can sponsor, we are also having our gala, which is our signature fundraising event. It is going to be held November the 2nd at the Eagles Landing Country Club. We are definitely looking for sponsors for that event. And they can go on Eventbrite and purchase a ticket to the Starry Night Gala. And we hope to see everyone in the community to come out, because that's one way that they can support and to help us to keep the doors open for Connecting Henry. And if they would like to volunteer at any of our events, again, just simply give us a call at the office and we'll plug them in where they can fit
Okay.
in. We are always collecting toiletries because we do work
Mhm.
with the homeless, not just the little small trial size, but full size toiletries. And we give those out to those that are in need.
And that's collected throughout the year, the
Correct.
toiletries. Okay. Any
Correct.
other items that you collect as far as resources if people want to drop off? I know you're doing the one for the shoes for the homeless. How do they participate in that initiative?
That is an initiative right now we are doing through Henry County Schools. We're working with the homeless liaisons, and they are providing us the names for the families that are homeless, because the organization that provide the shoes to us, these are brand new shoes
Mhm.
through this organization called Souls for Souls.
Okay.
And they are specifically for the homeless. And
Okay.
so we have plenty of shoes to give out to the families, and we've already started giving them out. And one thing that we like, we want to make sure that we help our families to maintain their dignity. It is not something that we put on front page of the newspaper, because we always put ourselves in that family's shoes.
Right.
How would you feel if you were, in if you were that family that you're going through whatever you're going through? You have a need. And I
Mhm.
always say to our staff, it can happen to any one of us. Anything can
Correct.
happen. And so we
Yes.
want to make sure that our families are treated with dignity and with respect, and that we handle them with care and treat them as if we would treat our most precious cousin or most precious parent. And
Right.
so, yeah, but definitely
Mhm.
diapers, wipes, we will collect those throughout the year because they are part of our low birth weight initiative. Blood pressure cuffs, because we give those out to women. If you have high, again, having high blood pressure, missing those
Mhm.
symptoms, we want to get these things into the hands of the families that need them.
Oh, wow. It's fantastic. Who also attends the monthly collaborative meetings? I know you mentioned it's faith-based, smaller business organizations. Do you have a cap on the number of people that can attend, or how do they get invited to be a part of this collaborative meeting?
The Henry Collaborative, it's a community collaborative. We host
Okay.
it, but it's for the entire community. The
Okay.
invitation, you just basically show up. And we
Okay.
do have all of those entities there. The school system, they always represent, there's always someone there, someone from St. Vincent de Paul usually will attend, or St. James Catholic Church. There's a lot of organizations that come. And I will say, before the pandemic, we typically had upward of almost 100 people that attended the meeting. But since the pandemic, the numbers have dropped off. But certainly,
Mhm.
we invite the community to come. If you are new in the area and doing something, it's an opportunity to come and share with the community what you are doing. We recently had a collaborative with Dr. Monica Johnson. And Dr. Monica talked about children and obesity in children. These are things that the community, we need to know. It
Mhm.
segued into talking about social media, which then led to a conversation about suicide. It is a
Mhm.
structured meeting. Typically, we have 3 speakers that will speak at that event, and they all tie in with one another. And it deals with anything from the topics that we talked about to health to um, your aging parents. What do you do when your parents are aging? Where can they go? So it is just filled with resources. If you've never attended, please take time to attend the meeting. And typically we post it on Facebook, but just
Mhm.
plan to mark your calendars the third Tuesday from 9 until 10:30 every
Okay.
other month. And the next one again will be in January.
And it's typically held at what location?
We toggle between Mercer University here in McDonough
Mhm.
and Heritage Park Meeting Room B. It's been a little difficult to get into Heritage Park lately because they have so much going on there,
Mhm.
but it's a combination of those 2 locations.
Okay, that's perfect. Okay, I definitely will. Is sorry. Do we have this meeting posted with Henry County Chamber of Commerce? Because that would be good to have it probably on our website as well.
We will make sure that it is on your website for the next meeting. Absolutely.
Yes,
Thank you
so
for
we can increase that number back over 100. We need
yes,
everybody involved, engaged.
yes.
So I'm just trying to look at ways, how can we help you with, that community support and, with connecting Henry partnerships, how can we really get involved? Can you name some of your partners right now? Who are your sponsors or partners? And so how do they add value so we can give some examples of other people can collaborate as well?
Sure. Some of our partners, Piedmont Henry Hospital, with our low birth weight initiative. We have the
Mhm.
Bridge Wellness. They are formerly the Pregnancy Resource Center. We have St. Vincent de Paul, Samaritans Together, the Salvation Army. They are our partners because we're all in this benevolence team together. Wesley Chapel, United Methodist Church, Grace Baptist Church. Um, I don't know why none of these partners are coming to me. Building 140, we've partnered with them. The school system, any and every, in fact, if you look on our Facebook page, you could
Okay.
really see our partners. We've partnered with CASA. Connecting Henry was very instrumental. We were part of the steering committee to bring CASA 159 to Henry County. That's the court appointed advocacy for children that are in the foster care system. They are our partners. And there's several others. It depends on what we're doing. Henry County Learning and Support Center, they are one of our partners, but it depends on the initiative that we're doing that will determine our partner. And we can partner as long as it's dealing with families, with children, triple A probate resources. They are one of our partners, several.
So you mentioned, so your organization been in business for almost 29 years now. What gave you the vision? I know God, okay, so gave you that vision. So how did it actually come about? Can you share a little bit about with connecting Henry? Because I know you have great passion. I love your passion. I love how
Yes.
you are such a servant leader and love to support and help the communities and help people get better. So can you share a little bit about that?
Yes. In fact, in 1996, the leaders in Henry County government, they wanted to do something with children in the community because they were getting in trouble between like 3 o'clock, 7 o'clock, kids were getting in trouble. And so Connecting Henry was birthed out of that to do something to help the children. They actually came up with a platform to do solicit the community, so to speak, to name the organization. And that's how the name Connecting Henry came about, because we connect Henry County, we connect them to the resources. And then, of course, we became incorporated. And over the years, we've done a number of things. We helped to birth the first readers here in Henry County. We helped to birth the drug court here in Henry County. We helped to birth the Fire Starters Association, which is where children, and that's not the proper name, it's escaping me, but we helped with that initiative for children that start fires. And instead of criminalizing and penalizing the children in that punitive manner, it takes them through a series of trainings. And so we help to do that. We help to
Mhm.
bring about communities and schools here in Henry County. So we've done a number of initiatives. I actually joined Connecting Henry 2012 or 2013. I'd gone back to school to get another degree, and I wanted to do an internship. And I called several nonprofits in Henry County, and Susan Crumbly called me back from Connecting Henry, and I
Mhm.
joined forces with them, did an internship with them, and kind of been there ever since. I had my own company at the time, and she stole me away from my company. And I've been with Connecting Henry. And as you said, Judy, because I do believe in this, it was not something that I set out to do. I had a whole different plan, but this is where I landed, and I absolutely love what I do because it does make an impact in the community. It's not about me, it's not about how I feel, it's about the community. It's about helping
Mhm.
people. Because again, any one of us could be in that situation. Take the pandemic impacted all of us. It was something beyond our control.
Right.
And people may say, well, why do we need Connecting Henry? Why are you giving to people? Because not everyone is fortunate enough to have as others. And
Mhm.
sometimes you need a hand up, not a handout. And we are
Mhm.
trying to do the hand up to help people to see the value in themselves. And we have a motto in the office where we're saying that we're teaching people to fish because we can give every day. And some people will take. But we need to get people in the mindset that if I teach you how to do this yourself, how to fish, not only will you never ever go hungry again, but then you can in turn help someone else. So that's our goal.
Right.
That's our motto. My staff, we're becoming more efficient. We are trying to become more educated. We are becoming certified life coaches so that we can help the families that we are dealing with and continuing to go through more and more training so that we can be more effective in serving the clients that are coming to us on a day-to-day basis.
Well, this is awesome. So I know Barbara is indicating that the chamber will continue to inform the Henry County community business leaders about the importance of the work that Connecting Henry is doing. And that's why it's important to really get that word out because we're in this all together. It's not just connecting Henry. You're connecting people so we can all unite and come together to support the community and make it a better quality of life for all of us, not just a select few, but for everybody. And so,
Yes.
again, how can I keep reiterating this to see how can we get resources out to the people that may not have the means to be able to look at the website or Facebook, So I'm just wondering how do we support others, and still have them maintain their dignity, but, get the word out.
Right. And that's a very good point. One way that we have found to do that is just by participating in community events. Like this past
Mhm.
weekend, the Kiwanis Fair was in town. And in fact, Kiwanis is another one of our partners, Rotary, one of our
Mhm.
partners. But we participate in community events and set up our table, pass out the resources to let families know. And if you're family that's in need, well, you've passed by and spoke to 10 other vendors that were there. So you're not going to stick out like a sore thumb by
Right.
stopping at our table as well. And Judy, you make a very good point that I would like to highlight on because we serve the entire community. We serve all of Henry County, not just in McDonough. And we serve the workers that are attending or that are working at Piedmont Hospital. We're serving the workers that work for Henry County government and for all of the manufacturing companies here in McDonough, in Henry County. We serve those families. Those are the families that are coming to us. The face of homelessness today is not the face of homelessness that we saw 5, 10 years ago. There are entire families that are homeless. There are moms with newborn babies in cars that are homeless. They do not have the resources to be able to pay $4,000 for a security deposit to get into a new place.
Right.
When we have grant funding available, we can help with that. The community can help by supporting Connecting Henry, not just Connecting Henry, but support the other nonprofits,
Right.
because that's how we survive and that's how we help others. And I'm talking monetary donations,
Right.
because it
Yes.
takes money to do the things that we do.
Mhm.
Government is not passing out money like they did during the pandemic. And it's
Right.
increasingly harder to help families without that financial support. But these are people that are working at these organizations. They look like you and me. They drive
Right.
a car, they come into work, but we
Mhm.
don't know that they just slept in that car or
Yeah.
they slept in a hotel last night. So we
Mhm.
want to take the blinders off and get outside of our own comfort zone, not be judgmental of people. But
Correct.
again, it could be any one of us. Anything can happen
Yes,
that can put
that's
us in
true.
that position. Mhm.
Yes, we want to be more helpful to people and support. Yes,
Thank you.
I absolutely agree. And that's why it's been great having you on here to get the word out, because I am a big advocate of us coming together and unite, because this world is so divisive at times lately. And we don't need to be divided. We're stronger together, and we support each other. And that's how we grow further until we get to that mindset of helping each other.
Mhm.
We'll still have these kind of problems.
Right.
So with that said, you have anything else you want to add?
I just want to thank my amazing staff. Connecting Henry, we are a small organization, but we do big things. I have my right hand, which is Christy Cassidy. She is our bookkeeper, and she helps to maintain all of our finances with Connecting Henry. I have Brandy Simmons. Brandy is our case manager, and she works directly with the clients, helping them in whatever situation they're in. And Teresa Carley is our receptionist. She's also on the very front line. She's the first person that receives the call, and she is a case manager. Can't do what I do without those three amazing women. And I just want to thank them. I want to thank my board. Shana Thornton is our board chair, and HB Moore, he is our co-chair. I want to thank all of our board members for the continued support. And thank you all at the chamber for your continued support of helping us throughout the years.
Perfect. Barbara, do you have any questions from Facebook or? Okay.
Yes, I do. Thank you, Judy, and thank you, Barbara. It's been so informative, and that's why we wanted to have you on today. And we have some people listening and watching throughout the show from Facebook. And Sev Talks Money, Brian. She must have joined late because we've answered these questions, but she wants us to repeat. How do we contact your organization to volunteer? Is there a monetary minimum for sponsorship? Where are the collaborative meetings held, and what is your website address?
All right, I'll start with the website, which is www.connectinghenry.org. Anyone wanting to volunteer, just call our office 770-274-3642. You can donate to Connecting Henry by going to our website. And we do have a link to PayPal that you can donate financially. You can always send a check, or drop it off by the office. We are located at 162 Keys Ferry Street in McDonough. We are right next to McDonough City Hall. And we certainly welcome any monetary donation. No amount is too small. My mother taught me years ago when I was a kid that pennies make dollars. If
Yes.
you gave $1, if those pennies continue to add up, they will add up. We are doing a campaign coming up in 2025. Is going to be called 25 in 25. And we are seeking the community donate $25 a month, every month for the month of December. I challenge any corporation out there to challenge your employees to tithe into Connecting Henry, $25 a month for 12 months. And you will be amazed at how quickly that can grow. And that will again continue to help us to do what we need to do and help families in the community. Did I answer all parts of that
You
question?
surely did, and thank you so
Thank you.
much. I'm going to remember everything as a member here at the chamber, as the Director of Communications. I'm going to make sure that your collaborative meeting is on our calendar, that it's posted, and anything that the chamber can do to support Connecting Henry. Barbara, you and Connecting Henry are a treasure to Henry County, and we thank you for the work that you and your team that you do, and all of your partners, and the way that you pull the community together to support people who need the help the most. We thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, and with that said, and we have no other questions, we're going to end the webinar, and we thank everyone for participating, Facebook Live, as well as the webinar, and our future participants who watch this this wonderful community dialogue. And we do host this every month on the fourth Monday at 10 a.m. So please make sure you join us next month. It's going to be on the 3rd because Thanksgiving. I think we have it on the 3rd Monday for November. But
Correct.
we continue to bring to you some superstars in Henry County, and to share information that's making a difference in the lives of the community, the lives of Georgia. So please be a part of that, and any input you can have, we do appreciate that as well, because we're in this together. We have to do it together. Okay, with that said, thank you so much, Barbara. You have been a gem as always. I love talking
Thank
to you.
you.
I love seeing you. Both
Thank
Barbaras.
you.
Both
Both
Barbaras.
Barbaras. Both Barbaras. You too, Barbara. You always a
Transferring
gem.
for
You know I
Barbara,
love
but-
you, Barbara. Both Barbaras, you are phenomenal, and thank you so much for doing everything that you do.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you, Judy.
Okay.
Thank you,
Bye.
Barbara. Bye-bye.
Bye.